Everybody, in this video, we're going to be talking Marvel Snap and the new meta upon us. We got the patch notes yesterday, some adjustments to Sandman, Thanos, Darkhawk, etc. Check out that video, link in the description above. If you missed it, we're going to look at some of the cards that seem to be critical for this new meta, a couple of the decks that are out there that I'll give some shout outs to some people on the Discord, which link in the description below if you want to come by and chat. Look at those, and then we'll see if you can make something similar on what I'll call a budget deck or somebody who maybe isn't far along. So, such as myself, I've been playing for about a month and a half. So I'm going to see what I can put together that might be as similar and still see if I can get something that's effective. Well, part of the meta is Sandman. Sandman adjustment is he's up to 5/5. He restricts one card for turns, basically 6, potentially 7 if you've got magic roll in there. But the biggest part to the most effective decks is trying to get him out earlier. So that's what we're looking at right here is 3 cards that are critical, of which I have 0 of these 3, which is why I talk about the budget concept of it. So maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get 1 or 2 or 3 of these. Psylocke's the first one. Whenever you play her, you do get 1 additional energy. So with her, maybe you can play them turn 4. So that way it's a little bit easier. Electro, very similar. But Electro has a Sandman feel to him, but to yourself. So he allows you from turn 3 to constantly have 1 additional energy. So on turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, you can play a card that's higher than what you would have normally. Now, obviously, turn 6, there's nothing that costs 7, so, but it's there. And then Wave is very similar, which allows everything to be played on turn 4. So these are all pretty similar in that regard. Personally, if I had a preference, I mean, I guess maybe Psylocke. She's a little bit cheaper, but she doesn't have the power. But I'd say any one of these works. Again, Psylocke and Wave are just 1 turn. Electro is for multiple turns. For that purpose, I think a lot of people would lean towards wanting him. But again, you've got the restriction of just being able to play 1 card per turn. So understanding that, let's look at the decks that we've got here. Again, we were talking about this on Discord. First one we've got up here, shout out to Peachy. As you can see, Electro and Wave are in this deck. You've got some pretty common cards in Sunspot, Iceman, Armor, Lizard, Devil Dinosaur, Odin. The more difficult cards outside of maybe Electro, Wave, obviously Arrow, Magneto, and then potentially Sandman and also Doom, obviously. So I like this. You can get all around the board a little bit. You've got a number of really high cards here. You've got multiple on reveals on this, which can maybe help you get additional cards out. I really like it so that you can, again, maybe double up on, Wave or Iceman. And then Heligar/Key, if you're on YouTube watching the live streams, which we're trying to do every day if you want to check those out. It's on a channel in the description below called WolverThor Live. I have a specific channel for that if you want to check it out. Here's another one. Again, we've got the Psylocke in here. We've got the Electro in here. You got a Sunspot in there in case you're worried about maybe not being able to use energy. I personally love Daredevil for any purpose. I think he's a super versatile card. Helps you understand where you want to play some stuff. Professor X to lock down a position that can pair off of that a little bit. Claw, obviously additional points. Sandman, and then Doom, Odin, and then Chavez helps lock in that end spot so that you're getting all these other cards before that. So these are some options that you can have. Obviously, there's tons of decks out there. You've got to play with what you get. But again, the idea is to try to get things out as early as you can. You could also consider maybe a Magic, but remember, Magic turns 5 and extends the turn. So it's really just getting more cards out after her. So do you have Sandman? Do you have some other big cards that you can play on turn 6 and 7? So, I'd think about the Magic, but it's out there if you really want to play with it. So I mentioned a budget deck earlier, and what I mean by that is not necessarily spending in game, but it's maybe early in the game or you haven't gotten as many cards. So I looked through mine a little bit. This is what I kind of came up with. Like I mentioned before, I don't have Electro, I don't have Psylocke, I don't have Wave. So I've got to find a way to bring cards out earlier. And so what I came up with was Lockjaw. I wanted some cheaper cards that I could get Lockjaw in there and bring some more higher end cards out. Hopefully a Sandman. Now looking at this, I've got 1 0 cost card. I've got 1/1 and then 3 2s. So when I'm looking at this, I'm actually thinking, you know what? I want Yellow Jacket, right? So that's a card that I want to try to get in there so I can Basically, once Lockjaw's played on turn 4, I want to try to get Sandman. I want to play as many cards. I want to play 3 cards on that Lockjaw as I can. And that's turn 4, right? So can I get 3 cards out of this? Yeah, I technically could. Now, I can't get anything more than that, right? So with the 0, the 1, and a 2, I get what I need there. And that's part of the reason why I don't have Yellow Jacket in there. I don't have anything else to make things come out sooner. The reason I like Okoye and Scorpion is because I might be limited on the amount of locations I play. Okoye builds up the cards I have in my deck. Scorpion takes points away from whatever they have in their hand. And Lizard is a cheap card for a decent amount of points with some risk with his ongoing. So I like those cards for all of those reasons. Yondu is another good option there. I don't know if I'd want to add more cards to my deck with Agent 13 or Mantis. I suppose I could throw a Korg out there just to drop something in their deck. And if I was to replace something on here, I think it'd probably be Lizard, because you're guaranteed what you're going to get with Okoye and Scorpion. We're going to try this deck and see if we can get any decent results. So we have our Lockjaw in here already. So this is a bad start. I'm getting a lot of my high-end cards early as well. Also not good. That rock isn't the worst thing in the world. So we're just going to go YOLO in here and see what we get between Arrow, Scorpion, Okoye, Doom, etc. Now, because he's not going to be able to fill in the middle here, I can go ahead and play Sandman and guarantee a spot somewhere else potentially. So this might work out. So all he has to do now, because he actually got lucky and got a couple rocks and can build up this sunspot, I can't do anything mid. I was pretty unfortunate there. I could certainly play my Magneto over here and hope for the best, but all he has to do is have one higher than 5 card on the left. So for that purpose, retreat. Glad they didn't snap. Again, starting with Sandman in the hand, don't love it. So I'm feeling semi-okay with this one. We'll see how it shakes out, what they play. I'm playing Sandman again on 5. I feel like I'm decent on the left-hand side, even a Doom, maybe an Ultron with some Patriot weirdness, but I don't think that's the deck they've got. So I'm going to go ahead and throw Doom over on the right-hand side. See what we get. Maybe going to go crazy and snap. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not good. Ooh. Oh. So there you go. Hidden Dark Dimension cost me monster butt kick in there. Obviously shouldn't have snapped. Seems like every hand we're just getting our big cards in there. Can't get a lot of the low ones. It's unfortunate. Again, no Lockjaw. We've got some Sandman there, so I'm actually going to start putting out some of my cards.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
Well, apparently the Sandman scared him off, so that's a good thing. So got one victory out of it, only 1 cube though. All right, we have a Lockjaw early, which is nice, and some low cards. First time we've got something like that. It's obviously can't play on the left-hand side though. Tragic. In Mystique. All right, so we're gonna do that. Sandman unfortunately popped in their deck, but maybe I can pull in a lot of my high cards here, because all I have in my deck is Lizard and all high cards. We got good opportunities here. Oh, both Lockjaw on it. Oh, like that. Up, instant retreat. No Sandman, but the Lockjaw aspect of it was nice. Again, in this one, we're just not getting Lockjaw early. We have some lower cards we can play, but nothing that's really exciting. There's the Lockjaw, but it's a little late, unfortunately. And he's going to know that I've got a Sandman here, so he can only play 1 from this point forward. I didn't want to put Sandman middle just in case he had a Shang-Chi because of that Zabu. As expected, 2 cards played. And Sandman gets destroyed. Because they have Enchantress. So that's certainly a counter. It was a good one. Only hope here would be Doom. Well, that's interesting. Oh, so the animation just keeps going. All right. I was like, what the heck? I was very confused there for a second. Go over there and see. We're just going to play this for the content. But otherwise, I'd normally retreat. Hopefully, they're confused and they don't try to play it. There's one. We'll see. No, all right. So they figured out the things. There you go. Somehow got the win out of that. Victory. Even though Sandman was not a factor. Doom, obviously, and helped with that one a bit. Again, starting with non-ideal in deck, or in hand. Ooh, interesting. Okay. That's tragic. Gotta play that just to get it on the field, right? I want to keep the other low ones. Surprised he didn't play that left, just to get those other 2 cards in his hand, but we'll see. We're gonna wait and see if we can get a Lockjaw, and those can be all sort of played next turn as well. Lockjaw is just staying in my deck. He will not come in my hand. They get their Lockjaw. Boo. I gotta start playing some cards here to make sure that I get some stuff, so. Ugh. Too bad I was gonna play Scorpion over there and I decided not to. There he is. If they would have snapped by now, I would have bounced. This game's definitely over, but we're gonna see what happens. All right, there's a Sandman. That's nice. See if we can get Doom here. Ah, Koye. All right, so now we can only play each 1 card on this final turn. Now they're snapping, which honestly probably makes sense. I don't see anything that I could really do here to win. I was hoping, you know, I could get a Doom instead of an Okoye, but unfortunately that is life. So we're not going to do this one for content. We are going to definitely bounce because they snapped. Seems like every time I get some sort of Infinite or Magneto in my hand in the first turn or 2. Lizard at the rock. We'll try to Lockjaw to the right. Not the worst thing in the world to get rocks in your hand when you got a Lockjaw. Okay. That's borderline hilarious. The RNG. We got a Doom there. Play Doom on the right-hand side last turn. But I've got Scorpion and Wasp and a ton of rocks. This is gonna be interesting. I kind of want to do this and see what happens. Actually, the likelihood of getting a rock there is so high. You know what? I'm gonna do that, and then we'll see what they do. And that way, it gives me a flexible Infinite play too. I wonder if they've got a Hazmat. It's an interesting Luke Cage play. Thought they retreated. Victory. I don't think that necessarily had anything to do, obviously, with Sandman or anything, just dumb luck. But I will say it is important to have multiple win conditions, and you know what? If dumb luck is one of them, I will take it. All right, so we got a great setup to start. Let's see if we can get things to go our way. I'm gonna do that now. Risky play. Shang-Chi's could be out there. I don't have Shang-Chi, but it could be. We're just going to start picking apart their deck a little bit. See if we can get a Sandman here. This is what you want. You want to try to get a Sandman on turn 4. That is the goal. You want to try to get a Sandman. I will say, no matter what I pull here on the first one, it should be a great card. Let's snap even. Ugh. Except for it was Wasp. All right, that's not the worst. No Sandman, unfortunately. Let's do this. We're just arrowing into this. We're going to see. I'm not going to play Infinite, obviously. But my hope is to get a double here and that they're going to play either middle or right. Nope, I was wrong. Oh, wow. And a Captain Marvel play. That's pretty good. Sandman, you bum. So I can play this here. Pull the Swordmaster over. And then hopefully I can win the left 2 lanes. Let's see what happens here. It won't be enough to win over there, and it will give him the win to the right. So that is one of the things that I actually dislike about Magneto, is sometimes he can lose you a game. I will also say they had Captain Marvel there, so, you know, she probably would have jumped over there regardless. It wasn't the Magneto play per se, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Content, right? Again, Sandman in hand to start. There's my Lockjaw, so I can play that on turn 3, but I've got a bunch of low cards in my deck. So this, again, is not going well, which I'll probably say this a number of times here, but really, your decks are all about knowing how you play them, the sequence, and what you have up front, and when to snap on it. And don't snap when you don't think you've got something going early, which I can learn from myself sometimes, to be honest with you. Ooh, a wave. That's fun. That helps me. I'll take that. Did I snap now? No. Ooh, I'm glad. Go to Scorpion. Go to Scorpion. All right, so we want this, and we're hoping for... Actually, you know what? I take that back. We don't want that. We want that. There we go. That's a solid one. Okay, final turn here. So I think Doom is the play, obviously. Let's see. Magnetos can move just those 2, which sort of who cares. But I think I'm going to play Doom mid. I'm not snapping because this is sort of, you know... well, actually, you know what? I feel like this is snap worthy because I'm not sure what they're going to do that's going to make them win. I mean, I guess they could play a MODOK mid. That would win it for them. But I don't want to play... If I play Doom left, I could get... I'll either get 2, 5, or 7 points. But I will still get my... actually, you know what? There is a 66% chance that I will equal that, and I will be able to send Doombots around. So you know what? YOLO. There you go. That was a weird play. Is this a bot? All right, we'll take it. My card's in hand to start. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, this is bad. I can already tell this is a retreat. I'm shocked they have not snapped yet. Straight up shocked. So I'm going to play the Sandman. And we're going to see what happens here. Oh, there he goes. All right. So by... If it was Sandman, I'm guessing they had an Ultron or something sitting there. Sandman in the hand all the time. Ugh. It might be my Lockjaw. We're doing it. All right. So our best play here is probably Magneto mid. It shouldn't pull anything over, but I feel like I'm not sure they're going to be able to have a higher point play than that. Obviously, there's a Lockjaw, so we'll see what happens, but we're rolling with the RNG again. Content. I'm good with all of that. So Sandman helped, but it was, again, a super weird hand. Come on, second dinner. What are you doing to me? All right, multiple win conditions. All right, we got some decent cards in our hand. We just don't want Wasp. All right, we'll take that. We can get Wasp, Iceman, America Chavez, or Infinite here. So I like all of that, but actually I want to throw Lizard over there to help get some points. We're going to see how this shakes out a little bit. Get a little funky. All right, not the greatest in the world. All right, so that will, but that he's going to, oh, but, oh, ooh, this is interesting. So I'm actually doing this. I can pull that away, these 2 away, and it should destroy them. We'll see what they're going to play here. And you know what? Content. Come on, baby. You know you don't want to do a good play here. Do a bad play. Or actually, maybe not a bad play. My play's better. Okay. Nice. 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 All right, so we're going to wrap it up on that one. I always try to end videos on positive notes. I will say my conclusion on this is very similar to a lot of other decks, is you got to be able to read and see what you've got early on. Do you have a good win condition given what your deck is set up for? Do you have multiple win conditions so that if you don't have your Lockjaw, pull in your Sandman in early, which is the whole point of this deck, which, God, how many times did we even get that to work? 0? But between Lockjaw and Sandman and some of these other cards, I have the ability to have multiple win conditions. So I think for something like that, it makes sense. It's good. Again, Arrow did not play into this very much. So if you don't have Arrow, I would say there's probably multiple other cards you can get in there. Anything that's maybe a high level card. I mean, shoot, Hulk, which you get early, Odin, anything with a lot of points that you have. I mean, Spectrum types, you can play those sort of cards. Doom, same concept. Obviously, he gives you a better win condition for hitting those locations that you can't play at. So he's not necessarily as replaceable, but you can probably find something out there. Maybe a White Tiger. Maybe that's what you're looking for. And if you don't have Lockjaw, I don't know. I mean, what are we even talking about at that point, right? So hopefully this has been helpful. If it has been, or you even were slightly entertained, consider hammering down that like button and giving a subscription. We'd appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.